Well, hello there, everyone. How y'all doing today? It is Thursday, February 17th in the year 2022. At least it is for that moment that I'm recording this. Anyway, hopefully you're doing outstanding. Please subscribe, like the videos, share them if you think someone can benefit, and then feel free to comment. And I'm going to talk today about putting it all together. Because some of you watching this are more veteran investors than I am. Some of you have not even invested at all. Some of you are just getting started. So I want to cover kind of a broad plan in a nutshell. Okay, let's start with, say you haven't even invested yet. You're still trying to figure it all out. All right, a couple things then. You got to look at yourself. Are you wealthy from your income? Not wealthy per se, but rich. Do you have a high income? Or are you like the majority of Americans, roughly 3/4 of Americans, who are living paycheck to paycheck? All right, if we're going to assume you fall in that category of the average American who's living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is evaluate the big things that you spend your money on. That's housing, vehicles, and I'll go with food expenses, other expenses. Food is a big one. All right, look at your housing. Have you bought a house yet? If you have, can you downsize? Can you bring in a roommate? Can you sell it and perhaps buy a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, live in one unit and rent the other ones out? By doing any of those things, you then get assistance with paying your mortgage, either in full or in part, which will free up some cash flow. Okay, that's a big one right there. If you have not bought a house yet, think about buying a duplex, triplex, or quadplex and do what's called house hacking. Let your tenants pay your mortgage. Think about if your rent's $1,000 a month and you have a duplex and it's running for $1,000 a month on the other side, and that's covers your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance, and your expenses. Well, by golly, you're basically living for free, and that frees up $1,000 a month to invest with. $1,000 a month times 12 is $12,000. That could be a down payment on a house somewhere in the Midwest, perhaps. All right. Number two, look at your vehicle. What kind of vehicle do you drive? Do you have a car payment or do you not have a car payment? Vehicles are expensive, and it seems like they have gotten more expensive. Used cars are outrageous right now. The prices. I drive a 2009 Toyota Camry. 2 years ago, when I checked the Kelley Blue Book value, it said something like $3,500. And my way of looking at it, every day I drive it, as time passes, it goes down in value. If I check the Blue Book value now, it's somewhere like valued at $7,000 or $8,000. Way too much. But if I decide to sell my car right now, I would go with that figure because folks are paying it. So cars are expensive. So if you have a paid off vehicle, try to keep it. Don't upgrade it. Don't trade it in. Don't do like so many Americans and pay down the loan for a couple years and then trade it in on a new one. Don't do that. Just keep driving whatever it is you're driving. It's cheap. I was talking to my dad the other day, and I threw out the fact that my transmission in my car at slow speed seems to slip just a teeny tiny bit. Just a teeny tiny bit. And his reply was, well, if it goes bad, because I don't drive my car a lot. We have two vehicles, and my car is for piddling around, and I don't really take it on trips, and I only drive once or twice a week. So I don't drive it much, so it can limp along for a long time perhaps. But like as he said, if my transmission went bad, and say if I could get a new transmission because the supply chain is disrupted, but if I could get one, say it costs roughly $2,500. That's cheaper than buying a new car. Maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. We shall see. All right, moving on then. If you have your meal expenses, do you eat in your house or do you eat out? Do you pack your lunch when you go to work or do you buy your lunch? I know the big wigs real estate investors will say, don't look at the little things. Don't look at the dollar lattes or the $5 lattes or whatever. But if you're the little guy and you're trying to figure out how to save that first down payment, by golly, if you can't house hack and you can't downsize your vehicle, you got to start with the little things. And food is a big one. Use coupons in the grocery store. Don't eat out. Minimize. Try to be frugal. If you can do it, buy something larger, cut it in half, freeze half of it, and then cook the rest, and you get a cheaper price when it's more. Perhaps. You got to look at your own prices in your own local market and all that kind of stuff. Another thing, I haven't mentioned this yet on my channel, I don't think, but fuel costs. The price of gas has gone up, right? Because the price of oil has gone up, right? Because, not to get into details, but the administration is against oil because we want to go green, but this is the way the government thinks. We want to go green. Let's penalize oil, but they don't have a plan to go green yet. So that drives up the price of oil while 90%, 95% of Americans are still using oil. So we're all paying more. But if you're like me, you invest in oil, and then as the price goes up, perhaps you're making a better return on your investment. So think about investing in oil to counteract the price that you're paying at the gas pump. But if you're buying gas, there's an app called Get Upside. I will put a link below in my description if you haven't heard of it. If you click on that link, that'll give some sort of referral fee to me, not fee, bonus. You'll save money at select gas stations all around the country. You will save money at the pump. It might be 5 cents, it might be 15 cents, it might be 25 cents, whatever it is. You may get gas somewhere already and have a discount card you use, perhaps, like a credit card that gives you points back. If you use Get Upside, that's just more money that comes back. And what it does, it's like a lot of apps. It goes into the app. You can set up when you want to withdraw it, and it'll transfer it to your bank account, okay? If you click on the link I put below, I think it'll work if I do it. I've never tried this, but if I put it below, you might get a bonus, like an extra 15 cents or 20 cents or something the first time you use it. And then I might get like 1 cent per gallon every time you buy a gallon of gas, something like that. So we'll see. But I've been using it for a while, and I drive very little. And it's not a lot, but my account balance might be up to like $50 right now. Hey, $50, $50, right? So anyway, moving on. You may have watched 2 videos yesterday about utilizing credit cards. Credit cards, there are other bigger real estate investors out there, investors who say they don't want to take the time to learn how to do this, but it's not time consuming. It's easier than learning your market to invest. It's not time consuming at all. But if you watch those videos with Caleb and with Bill, so some of the returns on the sign-up bonuses might be, I don't know, 15, 20, 25, 30% or so, something like that. It's like free money, free travel rewards. And if you're an average American, you're paying all your bills by credit card already. So if you could look at, and we'll talk about this in a future video with the 3 of us, perhaps, where you can look at to see the rankings of cards. I use a site called 10X Travel, something like that. And every month they just rank credit cards, okay? And I'm not going to go into detail on it. But if you use one for your normal organic spending, you pay your grocery bills, you pay your gas, you pay this, you pay that, your normal spending, and if you can meet the sign-up bonus and get 50,000 points or 70,000 points or 20,000 points, that might be a free airplane ticket. It might be enough for a $500 Airbnb gift card, whatever it might be. And if you have a spouse or significant other and you both do it, you double the amount of points you get, perhaps, and it just gets better and better. So if you're like I used to be, and maybe I took a vacation once every few years where I actually did something, if I had this as a benefit, I could have taken annual vacations and had them be just a little bit nicer without taking more money out of my pocket. All right. Now, the point of doing everything I just said is to get more money to invest with. Because if you're in the rat race, if you're on the hamster wheel, if you're plugging away one day at a time, if you're looking forward to the weekend because you're working, you may love your job. If that's the case, you get an option and you become financially independent. Does not mean you have to stop working. But most Americans don't love their job. All right. So my assumption is you're one of them. So you want to save up the money to start investing with. So when you save it up, you have different options. You can go into index funds. Index funds are extremely passive. It's like your 401k. It's a fund. You pick it and you forget it. You just put the money into it, you forget it. You will get maybe the market return. And some folks are saying the market average may pull back just a bit. I'm not a stock expert. I am a small-time contractor for the Motley Fool, but I am not an expert on this at all. I'm not a financial advisor, CPA, or an attorney. I'm not telling you what to do. But if you get an index fund, if inflation's running at 7% and your return is 7%, you didn't make anything, okay? Something to think about. Now, if you can pick individual stocks, and the way I pick individual stocks is I let a website like the Motley Fool do the heavy lifting for me, and then I selectively choose which stocks I want to get. And they have a track record of beating the market. Going back 3, 5, 10, 20 years, they have beaten the market, okay? You can never predict the future, but they've beaten the market in the past. So I will do that. But I have learned, though, real estate can create wealth a lot faster than stocks can. So knowing what I know, I said this in an interview with Michael Zuber, knowing what I know now, if I could go back in time, I would have not put money into stocks. I would have started buying real estate, okay? Because once you get on the property ladder, once you get the first one, you start getting income, positive cash flow. You got to run the numbers so you get positive cash flow. And that positive cash flow, then it contributes to your savings. It adds up faster so you can buy a second house. And then as you get a second house, you get more positive cash flow, so it adds up even faster to get your third house. And as time goes on, your tenants pay your mortgage down for you, rents go up, so the spread widens. You'll get more money, all right? If you start this when you're young, most people start a 401k when they get a job, maybe they're 22, 23. If you can buy your first rental house by the time you're 23, 24, 25, and buy another one, and you keep buying them every other year, all right? In 20 years, what will you have? You'll have a lot more than if you had just put 5 or 10% into your 401k. I don't guarantee anything, but I would say that's a safe bet to make. All right, so, and once you get your wealth created with real estate, you can make a decision. You could continue what you're doing. You could go the path of Michael Zuber. Try to get up to 200 rentals and get more money than you know what to do with. You could be like Dion. He was on my channel also. Dion has, I think, 16 units, and he's financially independent. He doesn't want to get 200, I don't think, because he can do okay with just 16. Others out there, like I have in the 20s right now. My money's tight right now. I'm lean, financially independent, but yet with rentals, you always have expenses, so you always need reserves. And for me, I'm just in a string of bad luck where I am spending, it seems like more than I'm taking in, which is a bad habit to be in. All right, so I have branched out into other alternative investments such as oil drilling and mineral rights, and I have that revenue coming in, which is helping me to stay positive, not go negative, let's say. All right, so my way of thinking is I'm at the age, I'm older, I'm 54. I don't think I want to pursue Michael Zuber and try to get up to 200 rentals. I don't think. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of applying for mortgages and lending. It's a lot of stuff like that. I don't think I want to go that route. I think I'll keep what I have, maybe selectively get a couple more, and then I may go alternative investments. We'll see. As time goes on, I'll probably keep adding to my real estate, but I'll keep adding to my alternative investments. Maybe I'll get up to 50 houses. Maybe my alternative my alternative investments will keep growing. But that's a decision I will make for myself. Just like I can't make decisions for you. You got to make your own decisions of what you're going to do. Feel free to give me some advice. I try to have this channel. I'm like a lone wolf. I don't have a lot of people giving me advice, and I just kind of run with things and do my things my own way. So I'm bouncing this idea off you. If you've watched my channel, you know my story. I'm at 22 rentals. I'm trying diligently to get 2 more, put me at 24 rentals. And I may get another one, put me at 25 rentals. But I got money in alternative investments, and as time goes on, I may pull back a little bit on the real estate and push forward a little bit on the alternative investments. So what do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Or mazske, do it and let us know what happens, so maybe you'll learn from me. All right, but anyway, that'll do it for this morning. I got some other work to do. I am applying for some loans right now, and at the last minute they always come back at the last minute. And if you apply for mortgages, remember this, at the last minute when you're saying, oh, I'll close tomorrow, they'll come back at, late in the day and say, hey, we need something else. And by the time you get it, they say, oh, it's almost our quitting time. Oh, now closing might have to be the next day. And then on Monday's a holiday, so maybe official closing will be Tuesday. Instead of being today, maybe it'll be next Tuesday. So anyway, with real estate, you got to go with the flow. You don't have to like it, but you got to go with the flow, because real estate will try you. Michael Zuber says that. Real estate will try you. All right? So once you make it to your level of wealth that you want, you got to decide, do you want to go after Michael Zuber and get 200 rentals, where then all of a sudden it doesn't try you because you have more than enough money coming in? Or do you want to branch out and do something else? All right? It's a decision we all have to make. All right, so I covered a lot of ground right there, didn't I, in just under 15 minutes? So let me know what you think. All right, mazske is signing out, and you all have a great day. Talk to you perhaps tomorrow. See ya. Bye.